Chapter 1.
Ram, Ram.
Chapter 1, Concept of Health and Disease. I'm starting from here. Okay, the first chapter. So here I'm going to teach you these 10 topics in this chapter. First, I will let you know the WHO definition of health, in which you get the question. Then I will let you know what are the standards of living. Okay, what are socio-economic indicators. Okay, quality of life. To measure the quality of life, we are having 4 indicators, ultra important topic: HDI, PQLI, HPI, and multidimensional poverty index, MDPI. We will see all of them. Not only this, we will see the health indices, that is Civilian Index, DFLE, Daily, Quali, Hale. Now these terms looking very complicated to you, ma'am, what is the difference between them? I will make a cakewalk for you. Wait a while. In 1 hour, we are going to complete everything here. Okay. And after that, the natural history of the disease, the iceberg of the disease, control of the disease, prevention of the disease, okay, and ICD. We are going to take all these one by one. Without wasting any further time, quickly come on health. What is health? Define health. Define health, define the WHO definition of the health. You know, what is the WHO definition of health? Huh? WHO has given the definition of health in 1948. What is health according to you? Am I healthy? Are you healthy? Is anyone healthy? How we say the person is healthy or not healthy? What is a health? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. We are taking 3 components to define the health: physically healthy, mentally healthy, and social well-being. So 3 well-being are required to say a person is healthy. It's not merely absence of disease. So sometimes I ask, what is health? The person you think like, ma'am, it's absence of disease. Not absence of disease is health. No, absence of disease is not health. It is the 3 component, 3 well-being. The person is physically well-being. Physically there is no deformity in the body. Mentally well-being. Not only this, the social well-being is also there, right? But recently we have added 2 more components. All these well-being required the ability to lead a socially and economically productive life. So this is the complete definition of the health. What is the WHO definition of the health? It's physical, mental, and social well-being, so that a person can lead a economically and socially productive life. This is the complete definition given by the WHO in 1948. How many of you got it? Learn the 3 components: physical, mental, social well-being. Not merely absence of disease. Health, no one is healthy in this world. Not me, not you. Maybe all the 3 components 100% present at one time. It's an idealistic goal. It's not realistic condition. It's not realistic. Maybe physically if we are healthy, mentally not. Mentally we are healthy, socially not. Maybe all the 3 components at a time presence is the ideal condition. So it's the idealistic condition rather than realistic condition. So that is the WHO definition of health. Now we will solve the question simultaneously. The question is in front of you. The definition of health given by WHO includes all except what is not included in the definition of health? Is it social, physical, mental, or emotional? What is not included? Tell me. I told you the definition of health. I'm waiting for your reply. Quick. As soon as you see the question, please write the answer. Yes, very good, Shivangi. Very good, Navjit. है ना? Very good, Mahima, very good. You people are replying at both the places, on the app also, on Telegram also. So I cannot follow both the chat. So kindly reply on the Telegram. Na? I guess you all have the Telegram group, or you want to reply on the app itself. What is more convenient to you? You want to reply on the apps? Then reply everyone on the app only. Don't reply on the Telegram. So because following both the chats will be difficult for me. Okay, I will have eye on one. Okay, yes, you all are correct. The correct answer is D. Emotional is not a component of the health given by the WHO. It's physical, mental, social. You can learn the definition of the health is PSM: physical, social, mental well-being. So what is the definition of health? The definition of health given by the WHO is PSM: physical well-being, social well-being, mental well-being. You all are good and correct here. Coming on the next topic, standard of living. What is your standard of living? Is it good? Is it bad? Can we compare the standard of living of 2 person, your standard, your friend standard of living, my standard of living? So can we do the comparison? What is standard of living? Standard of living is a scale of our expenditure. Expenditure yani kharcha. How much we are doing expenditure. The goods we consume, whatever we are purchasing, and the services we enjoy, right? It is a scale of our expenditure and goods we consume and the services we enjoy. 3 things, the scale of that reflect our standard of living. Our standard of living is good, better, best, very good, excellent. It all depends on 3 things: the expenditure we do, the goods we consume, and the services we enjoy, right? According to WHO, the 3 criteria will decide the standard of living. So number one, the income and occupation of the person. Income, occupation we are taking together because occupation only will decide the income. How much a person is earning, the income depends on the occupation of a person. So occupation and income is taken in one criteria. The standard of housing, sanitation, nutrition. Is the house is kacha house or pakka house? है ना? Sanitation is good there or not good? Drainage is there or not good drainage? And nutrition is daily minimum calorie requirement for a person. Is it fulfilled or not fulfilled? So these three things are I'm taking together in one of the criteria: nutrition, housing, and sanitation. And third, level of provision of health, education, recreation. है ना? So if someone is not good in health, I mean, someone is having some disease, so the person is able to take better health services. You are having money to take the health services, education, recreation. So these all are taken together. So these will decide the standard of living, and standard of living depends on per capita GDP. In GNP, I mean, income is included. Income, so standard of living depends on income. The more the income, better is the standard of living. The less the income, not so better the standard of living. So it is directly proportional to income. You can see one of the criteria is income. Okay, so these are the three criteria. Now tell me the answer. Read the question and tell me the answer. Standard of living includes all except, I'm asking except, what doesn't include the standard of living? Income is there or not there? Sanitation, nutrition is there or not there? Level of provision of health is there or not there? And human rights. Human rights is there or not there? So what is not included in standard of living? The criteria for standard of living. So I told you the criteria, human rights is not at all included there, and you all are absolutely right. Very good, very good. So in this way, you get simple question. Don't try to mug it up. Just have a look and understand with attention. Everything is given in the option. It's not a subjective exam that you have to frame the answer and write it down. No, it will be there in the form of the MCQ. The 4 options are in front of your eyes. Only thing you have to pick up the correct answer. Okay, so be attentive during the class. So coming on the next topic, what are socio-economic indicators? In a society, what are the economic indicators, the socio-economic indicators? How many socio-economic indicators are there? The mnemonic is he flagged. H stands for housing. F depends for family size. L stands for literacy rate. A stands for availability per capita calorie. How much calorie per capita availability? There are 2G. One is growth rate, one is GNP. GNP means income, GNP per capita. E is employment. Actually, it's unemployment. E for employment. And D for dependency ratio. I will teach you all these one by one. But learn these all are socio-economic indicators. Sometimes you get question on that. So what is the mnemonic? He flagged. FLAGGED. Try to say the full form with me. H stands for housing. F stands for family size. है ना? Ideally, currently, the norm we are promoting हम दो हमारे दो, है ना? That is the family size, a small family size, है ना? L is for literacy rate. A is availability of calorie per capita. 2G are there. One is growth rate and one is GNP, that is income per capita. E is employment. Actually, not employment, unemployment. And D is dependency ratio. Got my point? Say yes, say no, say something. So please learn. You have to learn it, but at least with the help of mnemonic, you can try. है ना? So let me show a question on that. So you can see which of the following is not a socio-economic indicator. Read it, apply the mnemonic. So for socio-economic indicator, you have the mnemonic, apply it. It's as simple as that. The mnemonic is he flagged, FLAGGED. Now read the option. Literacy rate, yes, it's coming. Family size, yes, it's also there. Housing, yes, it's also there. But life expectancy at birth, no. Life expectancy. L is literacy rate. L, flagged ka jo L hai, it's not life expectancy. So knowing the mnemonic is not important. Knowing the full form of mnemonic is important. Because if you know only mnemonic and don't know the full form, so in the mnemonic contains L. You can see the mnemonic is having L. Now L is literacy rate or life expectancy. You will get confused in the exam. You don't have to confuse, है ना? So crystal clear concepts. You all are correct, है ना? अभी तो हमने अभी पढ़ा है. Or just after that, I am giving you the question, so you all are right. But imagine you have completed entire PSM, then the same question will be shown to you and you will become confused. So till now, I taught you 3 things. Let's revise the 3 things and come on the next topic. I taught you the WHO definition of health, number 1. Okay. I taught you standard of living, the criteria of standard of living, right? And I told you socio-economic indicators. Okay. Let's revise the 3 things and move ahead. What's the WHO definition of health? Very easy. PSM. And our WHO definition of health is PSM, physical, social, and mental well-being, not merely absence of disease. I hope you got it. Anna, what are the standard of living? It depends on three criteria. 1, 2, 3. Number one, it depends on income and occupation. We got it. Why we are taking these two together? Because occupation only decides the income. Number one. Okay. Number two, housing, sanitation, nutrition. Anna. So housing only, if it is a pakka house, the sanitation will be better. Okay. And nutrition is also there. And the provision of health, the provision of health, education, and recreation. That is the third criteria you have to learn. And what are the socio-economic indicators? We have seen he, flagged, FLAGGED. And now learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 criteria. So here we have 3 component, and 8 components. Learn like that. How many of you got it? Everyone give me a thumbs up. And I have shown you 1 PYQ on all the 3. And other things are very confusing. The terms are very confusing. You can get confused among them. So learn it separately. The definition of health is a separate thing. Standard of living is a separate thing. And socio-economic indicators is a separate thing. You have to learn the mnemonic of all of them and apply it. Very easy. Just apply in the form of the question. I have shown you the question on all 3. Okay. Can we go ahead? Easy going till now. The speed is good. Okay. Okay. So let's move ahead. Let's move ahead to the next topic. Quality of life. Now, quality of life. Now, there is a geographical area. This geographical area can be a country. For example, just say this country is India. There is another geographical area. Maybe another country. This country is US. Or you can say the two geographical area A and B. Can we compare the quality of life in the two different geographical area? Can I say quality of life is better in India or US? Why? There should be some subjective, not subjective, objective guidelines. Now you should tell me, ma'am, these are the reasons. How to calculate the quality of life in different geographical area, in country to country, region to region. How to compare? There are 4 different criteria to compare the quality of life in 2 different geographical areas. Okay, PQLI, that is known as Physical Quality of Life Index. Then HDI, Human Developmental Index. Then HPI, Human Poverty Index, which is opposite of Human Developmental Index. These two are complementary. And Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index, MDPI. Okay, so PQLI, HDI, HPI, and MDPI. These are the 4 indicators that reflects the quality of life. One by one we will see. They all have 3 components. Can we start? So let's start with PQLI. You can see PQLI and HDI. We will start with first PQLI. Let's start with PQLI. What is the full form? First say the full form. Physical Quality of Life Index. So there are 3 components, as I told you. Always there are 3 components. You can see. Number first is the life expectancy. Okay. You can say the first component is the health. The second component is the education. And the third component is standard of living. One of the standard of living. Okay. So these are the 3 components. Health in a country, in a geographical area, we are reflecting here life expectancy at the age of one year. When the first year is crossed, infancy is crossed, at first birthday, we are expecting how much this infant. For example, today an infant is born in India. Today a newborn is born, I mean. Okay, just imagine today in India there is a newborn who is born today. Okay, so he will become first 1 year. He will cross the 1 year. This is the first year, first birthday. Now at first year, we are expecting how many more years we are expecting. It's not reality. We are expecting how many more years the newborn is going to survive if the newborn is surviving in India only. And if we apply the current mortality and morbidity of India on this infant, so how many more years he is or she is going to survive in that particular country if they are not migrating to some other country? We are expecting its life expectancy. It's not reality. For example, we are expecting the newborn, the infant will survive for the 70 years, for 65. Maybe that person dies before that or after that. We don't know the reality. That is an expectancy. So life expectancy depends on the health services provided in that country. In that country, if the health services are good, the life expectancy is very good, very long, I mean. And if that country have health services, not good doctors, not good hospitals, not health services good, so the life expectancy is overall less. And that is an expectancy. Okay, so we apply the current mortality and morbidity indicator of that particular country on the infant on 1 year. This is known as life expectancy at the age of 1. Okay, this is how we can expect the life expectancy of a country. For example, the maximum life expectancy in the world is in Japan. In Japan, the life expectancy is in 80s. In rest of the country, it is in 70s. Okay, so life expectancy maximum in Japan. Maybe the healthcare services are very good. Okay. The second is the education. How to say the education of a country, not one person. I'm saying complete country. How to which thing will reflect the education of complete country? Complete country. So we calculate literacy rate. What is literacy rate? How many person in your country? In your country, how many persons are there? First say the number. Hai. So we know the exact number. How many? What is the population of a country? So out of the total population of your country, how many can read, write, and understand one language? That person is considered literate. Now, one any language. It's not necessarily English. It can be English, it can be Hindi, it can be Punjabi, it can be any language. So read, write, and understand at least one language. That person is considered literate. We will call that person, the person is literate. And if the person only read, not write, or only read, write, but don't understand that language, not even one language, more than one language is very good, but even at least one language, so we will call such a person as illiterate. So that is the definition of literacy. So out of the total population in your country, how many are literate? How many can read, write, and understand? For example, you may have seen many person, those can read a language, but they cannot. If you ask them to sign or to write something, they cannot write. So they are illiterate. So the minimum requirement is reading, writing, and understanding at least one language. That person is considered as literate. Hai na? So in your country, how many people are literate? Tell me the percentage of literacy. If I consider total 100 as your population, out of the 100, how many are literate? I mean, they can read, write, and understand one language. We will consider that literate. Now, small children. I mean, I'm having a kid. My kid cannot read, write, and understand one language. He's very small. Oh, no. So I cannot say that the kid is illiterate. We cannot call. So the definition is applicable after 7 years of age. And we exclude the population, total population. So 7 years or less population we are excluding. So of course, 7 years are required to learn one language, human, normally for humans. Okay. So all the persons in a population who are more than 7 years, among that population, we are excluding up to 7 years. Among that population, how many can read, write, and understand one language? I will consider that is the literacy rate of that country. Got it? So this is the literacy rate. Okay, number 2. So better is the literacy rate of a country, better is the quality of life. I'm having two country A, country B, maybe India and US. So I have to see how many are literate in India, how many are literate in US, percentage wise. So the country which is having more literacy rate, or the reason, the area having more literacy rate, have a better quality of life. In India, if you say all the states, Kerala is having maximum literacy rate. Okay, it is in 90s. Okay, so coming on the infant, the third thing is the standard of living. For standard of living, we are looking at infant mortality rate, IMR. What is infant mortality rate? So death of all the children up to 1 year of age. From 0 to 1 year of age, how many children are dying in your country? Anna, that is infant mortality rate of that country. Because why we are taking only this age group, 0 to 1? 0 to 1 is very fragile age group. Anna. So if infants are dying, so for suppose I'm having two countries, country A and country B. So I'm comparing IMR here and IMR here, two geographical areas. So one country is having high IMR and one country is having low IMR, maybe. So this country is having better, very bad healthcare services. That's why infants are dying more here. And this country have better healthcare services, better doctors, better infrastructure, better hospitals. That's why infants are dying less here. So quality of life is better in this country where the IMR is less. That reflects the standard of living. So say how to compare the quality of life in two countries, country A and country B. Tell me the three criteria according to PQLI. Number 1, say the health. We will see life expectancy at the age 1. Okay. We will compare the life expectancy at age 1 in both. We will compare the literacy rate in both. And we will compare the IMR in both. Okay. I want a country who is having high literacy rate, high life expectancy at birth, and low IMR. Such a country is having a better quality of life as compared to others. Say yes or no if you got it. So this is how we calculate the PQLI. One more thing you can understand, I am saying life expectancy at 1. 1 means at 1 year. So 0 to 1 I have already considered in IMR. That's why I am directly taking at 1, not at 0. 0 means birth. Say yes or no if you got it. Say something, react. This is the three components of the PQLI. So PQLI, we range from 0 to 100. 0 means worse and 100 means best. So what is for India? For India, it's 65. It's above 50. 50 is average. So it's above average. So quality of life in India is 65 out of 0 to 100. You can say this is quality of life in India we are talking. It's not very good. It's not in 90s, 100. It's not very bad below 50. है ना? So quality of life is above average in India. है ना? If we see the three components here. And yeah, one more thing, very important thing. You can see the three components. None of the three component is income. None of the three component is income because the people who has given PQLI theorem, they believe that money is not required for a good quality of life. What do you think? Money is required for a good quality of life or not required? According to them, money is not required. Without money or with less money, I mean, the persons can have in a country better quality of life. You can see none of the component is money. By money, I mean it doesn't include GNP per capita. Income is not included in none of the three component. Got my point? Money is not everything. They believe that. That's why one of the three component is not here. None of the component is money. You got my point? Coming on the next HDI, Human Developmental Index. Here also we will take the three components. The first component here is life expectancy at birth, not at 1 year. We are taking at birth. है ना? Number two, this is for health or longevity. Number two, for education, what is the component? For education, there we were taking literacy rate. Here we will take years of schooling. है ना? We will take 2 years of schooling, mean years of schooling and expected years of schooling and the average of that. You will say, ma'am, what do you mean by that? Okay, let me tell you, this is a country. For example, country A or country India. There are many people, the total population you know of India. Okay, now what is the years of schooling? By schooling, I don't mean only schooling. I mean schooling, colleging, I mean total education. So how much we should expect a person should go for how many years for the education, है ना? Normally if we take first to 12th standard, 12 years तो यही हो गए. उससे पहले KG1, KG2, the two nursery, KG1, KG2, 2 or 3 years वो हो गए. और उसके बाद at least फिर bachelors we consider. So 3 years bachelor degrees. I'm not talking for doctors, MBBS. It is very extended. But for normal person, we expect 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we expect 17 years a person should go to school. By school, I don't mean only school. I mean total education K years. I know. So 2 years of the nursery KG1, 12 years from first standard to 12th standard. After that, 3 years of the bachelor degree. After that, if someone is doing the master's, it's higher qualification. Okay. So at least 17 years. This is our expectation. But not everyone do so. Some do less than that. Some do very high, some do PhDs also, like doctors doing super specialization also. Okay, so some do very high, है ना? So what is the mean? Mean is reality, है ना? And do take the average of the two. That will reflect for your country, the education of your country. So this is known as, it depends on two things: mean year of schooling and expected year of schooling. We are not seeing that how many of the country people are literate. We are saying how many are going to school. Anna, that is reflecting here the education of your country. And third thing, the standard of living, we are taking income here because they people believe that for a good quality of life, money is required. The country who's having much higher money, I mean more money, that country people have good quality of life as compared to the country which is having less money or less income. So here GNP, GNI is taken in the one of the component. So these are the three. Here the minimum value is 0, maximum is +1. And for India, it's 0.64. It's not 0 to 100, it's 0 to 1. In PQLI, it was 0 to 100. Here, it's 0 to 1. In PQLI, the range was 65. Here, you can see it's almost 0.64. 65 ke near hai, 0.64. So, for India, currently, it's 0.64, the latest one. Say yes, no, say something. So, what we have learned? Can you please tell me? We have learned. What are the two indicators we have learned? We have learned PQLI and we have learned HDI. You people will help me to write, please? Huh? So, tell me the components. Tell me what does longevity represent or health represent in each of them. Tell me the education is indicated by what component, an educational component, and tell me the standard of living. For standard of living, what we are taking in each. So first talk about PQLI. Here we take life expectancy at the age of 1. In HDI, we take life expectancy at birth. Write 0 or write B, whatever. And a birth means 0. Okay. Here for education, we take literacy rate. And how many person can read, write and understand at least one language, more than 7 years. Here for education, we take mean year of schooling plus expected year of schooling upon 2. I explained you what do you mean by mean years and expected years of schooling. Now coming on the third component, for standard of living, here we take IMR. And for standard of living, here we take income. Income means GNP per capita. So PQLI people believe money is not required for a good quality of life, but HDI people believe that money is required for a good quality of life. And both the theories are correct at their own place, right? If you ask me the range for both of them, range and India ka current value. So if you ask me the range, I will say this one is 0 to 100 and this one is 0 to 1. 0 is worst of course and 101 is the best. For India, current value, it's 65 PQLI and 0.64 4, the HDI. The complete package is in front of you. Please learn it. Please learn it. If you understood, it's good. If you didn't understand, it's okay. Learn it. Learn it. It's double good. So please learn the three component in PQLI HDI. These are the indicators of quality of life. Quality of life in two different countries we are comparing, either by PQLI, either by HDI. How many of you got it? Everyone? Does anyone have any doubt? Please, if anyone have any doubt, write down clearly in your in the chat box. I will repeat. Anyone, even a single student? Can we go ahead? So this is PQLI and HDI. Every year you get question on that. Very frequently you get question on that. Very frequently. It's a very hot topic. Okay. So these are the two indicators of quality of life. Okay. You can do the comparison between them. Okay. Just let me show you. Please do the comparison between them. PQLI and HDI. You can do the comparison. PQLI, we take life expectancy at the year 1. Because we are taking IMR here. Up to 0 to 1, the death is reflected here. So after 1 year, we are taking. But here we take income now. So here we directly take life expectancy at 0. 0 or birth 1 and the same thing. Here we take literacy rate for education or knowledge. Here we take mean year of schooling and expected year of schooling. Right? And third component here, I. But here I is IMR. Here I is income. And howsoever you learn, but please learn. And PQLI is 0 to 100. Current value is 65. And HDI is 0 to 1 plus 1. Okay. And current value for India is 0.64. Got it? I guess everyone got it. None of you is asking the doubt. So let's move ahead. The third component is HPI, Human Poverty Index. It is a complement. It is a complementary to HDI. What is HDI? Say the full form. It's Human Developmental Index. And currently I'm teaching you Human Poverty Index, HPI. HPI is the complementary to HDI. Got my point? Human Poverty Index I'm teaching you right now. So this is an indication for deprivation. This was an indication for achievement. This is an indicator of achievement. This is an indication of deprivation. Achievement मतलब हमारे पास क्या है? Achievements. And deprivation मतलब हमारे पास क्या नहीं है? For example, there is a glass, having half water. Okay, so there are two ways to say. You will say the glass is half filled, or you can say the glass is half empty. Both things are correct at their own place. I will say this is HDI and this is HPI. What you have is HDI. What you don't have is HPI, but both are correct at their own place. So now I will talk about the deprivation. This was achievement and this is deprivation. So HPI is the complementary of HDI. How many of you got it? How many? Now I will not talk what the country have. I will talk what the country don't have. I want to compare the quality of life between two countries, country A, country B, any two countries. Okay, so I'm having two ways. What this country have and what this country have. If I compare that, that is HDI. Or else, what this country don't have and what this country don't have. If I compare that, that is HPI. Okay, so HPI, Human Poverty Index, it is an indicator of deprivation. Means what the people don't have in that country. And HDI is an indicator of achievement, what the people in that country have. So that is the meaning. That is the meaning of achievement and deprivation. So HPI is a complementary indicator of HDI. You got this point, I guess. Here also the range is 0 to 100, but the range is like PQLI. HDI was having 0 to 1. This one is having PQLI like 0 to 100. Let me tell you what is HPI. But we don't use HPI, and we use HDI only. But for your knowledge, you should know there are two types of HPI: HPI 1, HPI 2. HPI 1 is for developing countries like India. HPI 2 is for developed countries like US. So here we have 3 components, and here we have 4 components. Let me tell you what are the 3. So HPI 1 is for developing country, right? Here longevity, the same 3 components: longevity, knowledge or education, and third is standard of living. Component to wahi rahenge. Okay. So for longevity, here we don't say how much we are expecting the person will live on this country. We are expecting the chances of his death. So in a country, for example, there is a country. For example, let's talk about India. India is a developing country. Okay. So if I want to calculate the HPI 1 for India, so today a newborn is born in India. Today a newborn is born. So what are the chances the newborn will die before the age of 40? I'm not saying how much newborn will survive. Tell me the expectation, how much the newborn will survive for 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. I'm saying the chances of its dying. I'm saying the deprivation, not achievement, right? Tell me the probability at birth, of not surviving by the age of 40. Before the 40, how many persons in that country die before 40? So there are two countries, country A, country B. So tell me the chances, how many chances the person will not survive by 40? Tell me the chances, probability. It's probability, it's expectation, it's not reality. I repeat my words, right? So this is the longevity. I hope you got it. Knowledge, please cancel. Don't say literacy, say illiteracy. Make a correction. This is illiteracy rate, not literacy. Say illiteracy. You know what is literacy? A person who can read, write, and understand one language more than 7 years. Here, how many person who cannot read, write, or understand at least one language? Tell me the percentage. So out of the 100, if I say 70% is literacy, so obviously 30% is illiteracy. So don't say 70, say 30 here. The illiteracy, you have to say the deprivation. You don't have to say the achievement. Hannah. And third, for standard of living, how many percentage of population in your country don't get a good water source? Sanitized good water source. We all have water purifiers nowadays, but in cities, in villages, we don't have water purifiers. In many cities also, people don't have use a good source of water. They drink contaminated water. Hana? So that is the percentage of people that will reflect the standard of living. So these are the three conditions. Now let's talk about HPI 2 also. Here also we will talk about the same three, but fourth